I didn't connect this because I'm intelligent.
The smartest.
Loading.
I
Loading.
gotta claim this.
Cringe.
Fuck you.
Hello everybody and welcome to Steam! I'm starting later than I normally do because unfortunately OBS decided to be an absolute bish. But anyways, welcome back to Genshin Impact.
A birch tree. That's what it was.
A birch tree?
A birch tree.
A birch tree. I pulled Varessa! And I'm happy about it. I will say I did record it, but there wasn't much going on. I was exceptionally silent to the point where I was just... I was seething. I was at 78 pity.
Seething?
I was at 78 pity, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm not pulling this. Oh my god, I'm not pulling this. Oh my goodness, I'm not pulling this.
That's fair.
Like, I recorded it, but it was just silence except for the game.
It was literally just me with Arlecchino. She would not come home until I had one wish and I was playing with Jade, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna pull it. Sorry, you're gonna have to bleep that out.
It's fine. It's remember, we're allowed like 1 or 2 in the beginning.
It's the one swear word is mine. It's always mine. Anyway, so I was like, I'm just gonna pull it. Might as well. And while complaining about the fact that I was never gonna get Arlecchino, and I got Arlecchino, and I was like, damn it. Okay. But I still don't feel bad because I was like at like 70, 80 something.
What's my pity for the acquaint wishes? Not much. It's like 21, so it's not that much, which is fair.
You're gonna have to get more characters and level them up all the way.
I had a small panic attack. I had a very small panic attack when I pulled because it started to glow, and I was like, "There's no way I got a legendary on acquaint wishes after 20 pity."
Yeah.
There's just no way. I will lose my shit.
I love the 4 stars. I hate how my heart skips a beat when I see that glow, and I'm like, gold.
Is it? Am I lucky? What's happening? Stop! What are you doing?
It has not once been gold.
Oh, this is where I offer the sigils. Okay.
I lied. It's been gold, but it was Dia. It's always Dia.
Dia is the traumatizer.
She is. I almost have her C6, and that's a big deal. It's bad. It's bad. And now that Mizuki is out, it's just like, maybe I could lose my pity to Mizuki, and I wouldn't be mad about that. I really want Mizuki.
Oh boy, more acquaint pulls. Damn it!
Guarantee it's gonna be more Dia.
I thought I was freed, but I wasn't. I've got more acquaint wishes.
I want you to get Dia, just so you can feel my pain.
I like Dia though. I want her to be seed.
Yeah, then don't get Dia. Get Mizuki.
No, actually, I would like Kiki.
Oh, Chichi, yeah. I like Chichi.
Because I'm a hoarder, so I like any character that gives me easier access to resources.
That's fair. I honestly didn't use her. Well, no, you just got Yanfei.
Yanfei isn't the oh yeah, she is the resourcer.
She is.
We literally just had this conversation earlier today.
We did.
Yeah, so she's good for my leeway art. It sucks that Fontaine has both locked behind 5 stars.
Yeah. What? Well.
Huh?
It actually makes me wonder what Effie's passive is gonna be.
I doubt Effie's is gonna be. You know what? Effie's might be the same as Sayu's.
I want Effie. I need to save up my.
Oh no, wait, Effie, not Eva. My bad. Sorry. What region is Effie from? Is she Fontaine?
Fontaine.
She's 5-star. I doubt she'd be resource. You know what? How many characters for Fontaine are there for cooking? Because she might be the restorative, like Barbara or Jean.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like she'll either be resource gathering or some kind of like cooking bonus. Because I mean, she is a chef.
You are... You're Inazuma, and your talent is... Oh, you boost heal... You know what? This might be what it is.
Well, maybe.
Where it's
I mean, Effie...
healing buff
Effie
with
is
food.
supposedly going to be a support. Because, with the recent leaks after Veressa, it was all about how, Effie was going to be the #1 cryo support. Like, she would boost the hell out of cryo characters.
Oh, so she's better.
Like,
She's better on
healer.
a full cryo team.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling it's because cryo characters up until this point have had no love.
See,
You have characters like Shinha and Ryozli who hadn't had banners in a whole year or more in Shinha's case, and there's just no survivability with cryo. There's no special reactions with cryo except for freeze. So it's like, oh, that's an issue. But considering that Tsaritsa is coming,
yeah,
Skirk is coming,
yeah, that's...
Columbina is coming.
Those are a bunch of good cryo characters, I would assume.
Well, Skirk and Tsaritsa are for sure cryo. Columbina is a guess. I really hope she is. But because just alone for the fact that Skirk and Tsaritsa are coming is more than enough reason to buff the hell out of cryo characters. So,
Yeah.
Effie.
I do feel like bad that I didn't get Sitlali. So I wasn't too sure about how good Sitlali would play because I'd had no way of playing her with Arle. But because of this event, on one of these bosses, you could use... No, wait, it was the Bloomflower Trials. One of the fights was you had Sitlali as a trial character, and then you could pick your own characters. So I picked Sitlali and Arle, and let me tell you, that ended up melting HP very fast.
Yeah.
Coupled with her Sitlali's passive of whenever an enemy gets hit with freeze or melt, they lose pyro and hydro resistance.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel kind of bad for not getting Sitlali, so I'm just gonna have to keep an eye out for Sitlali later. If I can get her. If I can get her.
Yeah.
At the moment, I kind of want Aoife just because I like his vibe. And Effie seems kind of fun.
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Aoife sounds like a middle-aged dad, a suburban middle-aged dad who picked up Gen Z lingo to embarrass his kids, but then liked it a little too much, and now does it unironically.
Yes, you are correct.
And I kind of love that for him, but I also don't.
You're absolutely correct. That's basically what it is. I'm going to absolutely be angry about this, aren't I?
What?
This trial.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
I'm going to try and keep it calm. I'm going to try and keep my anger in check.
If it annoyed me, it's gonna annoy the hell out of you.
I'm gonna try to keep my anger in check. I don't want to break another controller.
You better. Okay, just remember this. No matter what happens, everything ends up well.
Okay. I kind of figure...
There is a massive plot twist at the end.
Oh my goodness. It was Farina who did it herself?
So, just try and keep that in mind when you get pissy with it. It's not what it seems at all. And it's why it's my fucking favorite.
Oh, it's your favorite. Okay. So, you weren't around when I was talking about it. I absolutely love fucking Navia and her goons.
Best of luck.
No. I was around. You said it, or you messaged me at least.
Oh, yeah. But I can't get over how much I love them. Like, Silver is ready to commit crime.
Absolutely.
Silver is absolutely ready at any moment.
Finally, you're back.
Melissa is so sweet.
Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help. don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up.
I will launch myself across this courtroom and dropkick you.
To be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you.
I'm gonna leave the real world out of this.
Should you, my most anticipated
The statement she just made. The guilty can never provide proof of their innocence. I'm leaving the real world out of that statement entirely.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly,
wouldn't it be more apt to say the innocent can't provide proof of their innocence because they're just innocent?
Mr. Linney explain the trick.
Yes,
So
there's nothing to
I
prove.
will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary
In a way,
items
you're
have been
right,
prepared.
but kind of... I think that's why alibis kind of exist. Because you can use an alibi to prove that you weren't at the scene of the crime at the time the crime happened.
But what if you're just
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that
antisocial?
case, I take your statement to be that.
Yeah, that does... I'm sorry. My brain literally just... The minute you said, what if they're antisocial? My brain went to the most recent The Thing movie, where the one guy is like, oh, I'm going to die because I floss, because they found out that the creature can't replicate fillings. And the guy flosses and takes care of his teeth so he doesn't have any fillings.
Yeah.
So double negatives. Like, that's the issue with a lot of, I think, courts is double negatives and shit like that.
I'm completely lost, but like, yeah, okay.
The magic box in the audience stands once the trick began,
Well, like,
and thus could not
false
have been
positive.
tried.
Let's go with that. False
Is this
positive is
correct?
actually what it's supposed to be called. So, like, in that regard, creature can't replicate fillings, ergo, anybody who doesn't have fillings is a creature.
Okay, I think I get it.
But because people can take care of their teeth for their entire life, they don't get fillings either. So that there's a false positive in that regard.
I see. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
And that's kind of what
Yeah.
being antisocial for alibis is like. It's just like, it's a false positive. You can't prove you weren't there. You can't prove you were there because you were stuck in your house. And pretty much nobody knew.
Yeah.
But that's
So, like,
what...
it's not my fault that I don't talk to anybody.
But in that regard, you do have stuff like Discord, game logs, YouTube logs, all that kind of shit.
Unless you're one of those people who literally just sit and watch
In
TV
that
all
case,
day
I call
long.
upon the prosecution.
Yeah, those
Lady,
people, I feel like they watch Honey Boo Boo
Do you
unironically.
wish to refute his statement in any way?
Hey, it's sometimes funny. Other times it's disgusting.
I don't watch it because I can't acknowledge that that is entertainment to me. I cannot acknowledge that that is entertainment.
I can't handle children being so opinionated for TV.
I can't handle people ruining their lives and then people on TV, producers being like, this will make good television. I can't handle that.
I can't handle American TV. I can't at all.
There is no
In the
way
least
you could
bit.
have
I
been in
just-
the box
it's-
the whole
it-
time
nah,
if you were
I
to
can't.
abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
The way they edited that stuff, like watching Hell's Kitchen between the American version and the British version is night and day.
I've never seen either.
I am
Simply
addicted to
your
it.
hypothesis
First off,
based on the
I've
presumption
seen.
that I'm
I
guilty.
want to say every episode. It's my
Guilty
nighttime
pleasure?
watch before get. But no, it's my because a lot of times I need noise to sleep, so I'll just play one of the mega episodes that they've uploaded to their YouTube. Because they are Chads, they uploaded every single episode they have to their YouTube channel for free. And it's great, and they're like 2 hours long, so I'll just play that. And so like I've seen every single episode because I watch it when I work.
That's how I kept track of the time and built.
But it's like night
anticipation
and
for
day
the
because you
finale.
have the British version that's just like chill and calm. It's like a serene, like we're just here, we're here to actually help. And like sometimes drama happens, but they're actually here to help, and it's nice and it's feel good. Then you have the American version where they have those like
No, nothing.
those violin like the sound effects and like dun dun. It's just like what the fuck?
So
What?
the problem is too many Americans are hell bent on experiencing suspense, and that's why
Yeah,
most
they
Hollywood
make it, like-
producers are like that.
Exactly. Like they make it a high stress environment, and like they manufacture a lot of the conflicts that happen in those places. Like it's like
I see.
I'll give it to them.
When the count reached 30 seconds or so,
A lot
there
of
was a
Americans
thud.
can be quite
One so
opinionated
loud,
and very dramatic and
practically
self-absorbed, and
everyone
these
heard it.
motherfuckers certainly are. However,
Huh?
they don't have to be that bad. They don't have to edit them to be like the devil.
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
But you know. But it's fun. The British version is nice sometimes. They don't have as many episodes though, so that's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Duh, what the fuck?
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself.
How could
You
Lenny
never
not hear the
know what
thud?
can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye.
Actually, I want to go back to the frickin' last stream where the one guy said the thud came from on top of the box, and I'm just like, that's not where the sound direction was coming from.
Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid.
I swear if an actual lawyer acted like this in court, she'd be held in contempt immediately.
Absolutely.
Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
Oh my goodness, so classic in terms of any argument. Absolutely ruin a person's reputation to make anything they say absolutely discreditable.
Sounds about right.
Ow! I facepalmed a little bit too hard. I also aimed poorly and hit the ridge of my nose.
Don't do that then.
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I mean, I kind of figured that to begin with, but
I've
still.
got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
What that?
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it.
You mean like yours? I can't get over the palette swapping of her eyes.
The Outlander is speechless.
I love her eyes.
My,
They're so
oh
cute.
my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting in Discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy.
I want to drop kick you off the balcony immediately.
Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Was she the one that actually did it? Was I right with my joke?
Do you want an actual answer to that, or do you want me to be quiet?
I mean, that was one of the theories that popped into my head, but I kind of whisked it away under not enough evidence. No, they are not. Well, arguably, yes, they are, but, like, no, they aren't. They're fucking Shneznayan. They're not Fatui. That doesn't make them the same fucking thing. The Fatui's an organization. The Shneznayan's a country. Right?
No, yeah.
Order! Order!
Fatui are
Mr.
an
Lin,
organization.
allow me to
She's not
re-establish
the country.
facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth.
How the...
Yes, Phoenix Wright, but Genshin.
Are these
I've never
claims
played a
true?
Phoenix Wright game.
I played the first one and only the tutorial because I got stuck.
It seems like a complicated game, to be honest.
It is. It was like a very, very minor detail that I missed, and it was just like, uh-oh, nope, you got it wrong. I was like, what do you mean? So I never played it again. I mean, like, I know of people who really, really like the Phoenix Wright games, but I do not. I'm too
I
dumb
do
for
want to
them.
give them a fair shot. Hello, Jade.
Like, they could be fun if you really
Please
like
answer
to
my
think
question,
a lot.
Melanie.
Well, okay, I think what would make it a lot more entertaining is having another person in there with you. Just, like, shooting stupid ideas like against each other.
True. Yeah, actually, that could be, like, really fun. Because then you could just, like, actually debate the case rather than, like, mind gaming it.
And then you also have people like a good example. I believe the Game Grumps played one of the Phoenix Wright games.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they're true,
And
Your
one second, I
Honor.
need to drink water.
And it's Game Grumps, so you know it's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, because they bounce off of each other and do a lot of stupid shit, and they make commentary.
Absolutely.
What if
I knew it.
Oh, right. I forgot. This thing technically acts as the final judge. I forgot that's why it's doing it.
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
You're
getting thrown in the ocean.
Lord drops.
You're getting thrown in the ocean, bitch. We might as well move on to the sentencing. I'm sorry. Is the case over? Are you a lawyer? Do you have any law degree? Fuck off.
What should we do now?
I
Sorry,
don't
I
think
just...
anybody has a law degree. Can we talk about how fine Uvulette is, though? He's great.
Yes. I think
He's so
arguably
cool.
he'd be the only one with a law degree.
Yeah, honestly.
You know what? No. I feel like Ryosley would have a law degree, or one other person, like in Natlan or something, just as a side-off. Like, not even a real reason to have it. They just have it for some reason.
Ryo is just a cop.
Granted.
He's technically not even a cop. He's a constable. He's not constable.
In that
He's
case, what is your request?
I don't know, a jailer. I don't fucking know.
Is that really
I don't know these names. I don't know these words. I don't know positions in a jail.
I want to punch this guy in the
Whoever the
face.
head honcho is. Honestly.
They're already as good as guilty. Are you a lawyer? Are you a judge? Fuck off. I'm flicking off my camera.
The defendant
Camera.
Oh yeah, Warden. That's what I was
What is there
thinking. Thank
left
you,
to
Jade.
discuss?
Yeah. See, I don't watch these prison shows. I don't know these names. Nor do I know people who work in jails. So, I don't know.
Well, me and Jade know a person that work in the jail.
I technically do too, but I don't talk to them much.
Order! Order, I say!
At least not about that.
You know what? If Nouvelette started just shooting people with his water abilities, I wouldn't blame him.
Your request is reasonable,
Two.
and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought.
Well, also, you're actively trying to ruin a reputation and not actually, like, build a solid case.
In that case,
I mean,
my
it's
dear
a show.
audience,
They're all
let's allow
shows.
the jury
This
of
is
victim
what
to speak
annoyed
for a
me the
little
most
while
about it,
longer.
honestly, is like, I understand.
The necessity behind it for, like, the
No.
functionality of the country. Because that's
No.
what isn't that what the Ortrice goes off of?
No.
Because, like, it takes the emotions and stuff from the people who watch the shows and then powers Olifontaine.
No.
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 Not at all. No, it's just because, like, I understand making it a show because entertainment.
Well,
Um,
this is
And because we all love a good Judge Judy episode. That's not real court.
I don't love Judge Judy. I don't love any of the Judge shows because none of it's
I like
realistic.
how only some episodes, because other times she's just a crotchety old bitch and I don't like the vibe. But like there is entertainment behind it, and I understand that, and it's like, okay, yeah, sure, maybe they find entertainment because like their whole thing is just like movies and plays and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure they do plays in that place. It just doubles also as a court of law, and you know, Farina is Farina. She's gonna
Be
make
stupid.
things very theatric, but it's also like, goddamn,
She's an attention-hungry theater kid.
kind of, yeah.
I will say though, the fucking
And-
box art for Fontaine goes hard.
Real.
I like the way
Yeah, I
it
never
looks.
got to respond to that. It was my bad, but yeah, it does. It is. Oh, you have not seen Nuvilette's character trailer. You have to after you're done this arc.
I probably will.
Yeah, just I wouldn't watch it just in case it spoils like anything about his story.
I think Jade showed me Farina's, and I'm pretty sure it showed Novalette getting arrested.
Yes, yes it is.
I was laughing at that because it
It's her
feels so
little-
off.
It's her little show, her little play. But yeah, and it's like I get it that it's a show to them all, but it's also like, damn, you could like kind of treat this with some respect, but also as Jay said, nobody really does.
But our organization is
Yeah, like I understand that's how court is in real life, but
very
like,
different personalities and goals.
I'm sorry, I have a cut and dry view of this. Court cases should be case 1, build case. Side A, build case. Side B, build case. It should be built on facts. It shouldn't be attacking anybody. It should literally be like, did you cause the murder? No? Okay, well, you were standing over the body, holding a bloody knife, and ready to stab them again. Like, I understand it's more nuanced than that, but still.
True, Jade, but
Court proceedings in olden days were big spectacles. So,
Speckles.
actually, I can understand why that was, but not for the same reason as it is in Genshin. In court cases, you would... So, part of it, I think, is because... Person who studied law here. Hello. Hello. I know you studied law. I thought that the reason that they held the court cases as big spectacles in olden days was because it was to kind of help the news about it spread. Because they didn't have internet and shit like that back in the day. So like they were definitely far more disconnected, so that's how like the news of this court cases got out.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends.
For the primary ruling class to flex power and inspire the people.
It's always the fucking ruling class flexing power.
Dap them.
Everybody just needs to eat the rich already. Like, what the fuck is taking so long?
Look, I'm just waiting for the crash to happen.
That's why I didn't wish to flat out
Yeah.
launch.
The crash isn't gonna do nothing. They're still not gonna eat the rich. Like, what happened to Let the Meat Cake? And how people reacted. Like, I'm just saying, there's been many moments like that already.
The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see
Nobody's
us
done
spending
anything
more
about
effort
it.
than we need to.
No, people are doing stuff about it. It's just that we don't hear much about it because fucking media is
No!
bought out.
Nobody's doing anything about it.
So, you be the judge.
In Canada, one of the biggest grocer tycoons, like he owns almost every single grocery chain around here. And in reaction to the insane price surge of groceries as of late, he was like, just eat
But
cereal
still,
for dinner.
I'm asking you to trust me.
Like,
I am no
oh,
criminal.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I could
At least
afford
not in this
cereal.
case.
The $9 boxes of cereal. And
Now-
all people did was just boycott the stores, which did nothing. So
Over here, we had 2 instances happen where an entire state's counties shifted from one side to the left in less than 6 months.
yeah.
Also, yeah, $9 for a box of cereal. That's insane.
Sorry.
Yeah, and that's a small fucking box of cereal. Like I could go to my drugstore down the road and they'd have like, yeah, here's our cereal that are like $8 to fucking $9. And it's like these small tiny boxes of cereal. No, that's insane.
Right. Let's hear you.
But
And Walmart doesn't even have those like no-name big bags of cereal anymore.
yeah, no, they've all been replaced with fucking brand names.
Well, because they were selling so much better than the boxes of cereal that they nerfed them. They were like, nah, we can't have this competitor that's actually
I'll
doing
answer
well
any
because people
question you
actually
ask.
buy it because it's actually
Decent.
priced well.
We've been trying to find out how.
So,
the
you know, I
origins
haven't had
of-
cereal in like a
We want
year,
to know
2
why it has
years.
Consciousness. Why can it
I either
deliver
have cereal
sentences
and don't have
accurately?
milk, or I have milk and don't have cereal.
Yeah, but one of the Walmarts I go to, I'm noticing that a lot more of the brand names are replacing it, and they're not $5 a bag.
They are endangered by actually priced products.
Yeah, America doesn't like competitors. But
No.
another big thing that's changed is that
Capitalism doesn't like competitors. They want a
I
monopoly.
don't know if anybody heard about this, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is because of the absolute fucking kneecap kick this was to Musk. Elon Musk spent like $25 million on campaign revenue for a supporter of theirs. They fucking lost.
Nice.
During our
They fucking
investigations, we learned that the
lost
machine's core is
to
beneath
someone who wasn't backed by a millionaire.
That's Chad behavior. Let's go.
From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need
The
15
light
to get
changed.
to the opposite box.
The light changed.
So,
Perhaps.
after jumping
I'm proud
into
of
the
you.
tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice.
Are we about to learn that the Oratrice doesn't even fucking work and it's just Farina fucking around with theatrics?
Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came.
But no, there's some pretty decent changes happening. Like the one dude in Senate breaking the longest freaking filibuster. And it wasn't even an actual filibuster for this guy, but
I heard about that.
yeah, the previous one was 24 hours long, made by a racist, and then this guy comes in and busts it down for like 26 hours.
On the way
It was
back,
25, I
saw
heard.
the broken vase and
Oh,
the holes on
I thought it was like
but the
25 and
countdown
still
was almost
going.
finished, so there wasn't
But
time
it would
to-
make sense if it
No.
ended at 25, because like talking for 24 hours at a time, in general, is just painful.
I think, let alone the fact that he stood there for 25 hours, let alone the fact that he didn't go to the bathroom for
After that,
25 hours, let
homicide
alone the fact that he
occurred
didn't
just as
eat
you
or
saw.
drink for 25 hours. But the fact that he had enough words in his mind to keep talking
Oh,
for
it wasn't
25
his
hours,
mind.
That is the yapping king.
Oh,
You can have note cards all you want.
we should
You
probably
still
stop
gotta,
talking
like,
about this, apparently.
talk.
Hello, new Twitch
What?
guidelines regarding political talk.
Oh yeah, you can't talk about the gays. It's against the terms of service.
Oh, what?
Well, that
Yeah.
explains why you didn't hear the thud.
It's fun.
But then
You
what
can't
about?
be gay on Twitch.
But what about the game where you're a?
Twitch says no gays.
Isn't there? Oh crap! What's the game? What's the game where you're playing as a kid, or like a teenager with the power to like reverse time for a little while, and you kind of have to solve mystery.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course, we must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal
It's like
with
New
that
Colors or
prophesized
something is the
crisis.
second line of it.
That's the only way we can see
Max and
I have to mute.
Chloe. What's the game? Life is Strange.
So, there you have it. The whole truth.
It's the Life is
I
Strange
swear, I didn't hide
series
anything from you
where
this time.
it's the chick that can turn time back to try and keep her totally not girlfriend from dying every single way. And then there's also the
It was never my wish to proceed
spin-off
under this cloud of
game
mistrust
True
either.
Colors that tells the story of another gay chick.
But like I said earlier,
There's
you can
also
be the judge. If you want
The
to
Way
leave because
Home,
you
I
don't trust
think,
the Fatui,
is
then there's
specifically
nothing I
a
can do
story
to
about a
stop
trans guy.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Not The Way Home. Tell me why. It's a sweet game. I played the first chapter of it. You're good.
Okay, thank you.
Real.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
I mean, honestly, there's no harm in like flagging your channel for literally any of the tags. I don't think there is
That the scales are tipped pretty
like
badly against you two.
punishment for it, but it tells people that it's just like, hey, like I talk about things. So I mean, if you wanted to keep talking about politics and stuff like that, you just gotta tell that it's just like political talk, rather than people coming in for sweet little Genshin gameplay and then hearing all about how capitalism sucks and how we need to eat the rich.
Huh?
Stuff.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Oh yeah, he was too, wasn't he? I completely forgot about the orange Twitch arc.
Huh?
That was wild. A certain president was
Oh.
putting his campaign speeches on Twitch.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, I
It's
try
fucking
not
wild.
to. So like, I try not to talk too much or too long about politics. I think the longest I talked about it was a half-hour episode of my Tears of the Kingdom playthrough, where I just talked
Both
about how we
parties
should
have
stop
returned
giving a
to
shit
their
about what
positions.
side everybody's
Let us
on,
continue the trial.
and just kind of come together for the betterment of the country. But like,
Yeah. But you're funny. In a world where everybody is self-absorbed and selfish, nobody's gonna come together for the good of other people.
When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina.
How is it evidence?
Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating
Can't
her
believe I'm defending the
reconstruction of
Fatui in a way.
Wrong. You're defending Linny.
No, I mean when I like break it down, I'm arguing that the mention of the Fatui shouldn't be a damning piece of evidence for these two. Which, yes, I am defending Linny in that regard. It's just that, in a way, it can come across as me defending the Fatui.
But it's not. It's specifically saying, yeah, this group has done bad things, but just because they belong to that group doesn't mean that they have done bad things.
Well, also, that's
Or
the
that they're
thing.
bad
Like,
people.
do we have... Well, I mean, they basically admitted they are part of the Fatui, but, like, how are they part of the Fatui? Once again, it's an organization. I don't get it. I don't understand. I do understand, but it's just, like, it's confusing.
It's almost like the little people can be fucking fine, and it's just the greater picture that is not fine. Like, one could say that every American is not fun because of who runs their country, but that's not the case.
Navi looks so fed the fuck up, bro.
At this stage,
She is!
let's revisit that scene.
Honestly,
I wouldn't blame her if she just started shooting at Farina. Based on the opposition's account of evidence, you can identify loopholes in their statement. Oh no. Use evidence and clues obtained during the investigation to refute any erroneous assertions. Wouldn't it be assertions? Oh, whatever. Of fact and replace them with new inferences. Use your refutations to convince the audience to I'm gonna hate me. This is going to be the freaking Starfield fucking persuasion minigame all over again. I hate it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so Starfield has a persuasion mechanic, much in the way of like Skyrim would, or Fallout.
Skyrim doesn't have one. Fallout does.
No, Skyrim does. Skyrim has persuasion. But it doesn't show you like percentages or shit like that. It just says persuasion. Actually, what I think it is if you have a certain level in persuasion, new dialogue options open up. I think that's how it works in Skyrim.
Right? Yeah. That's how it works.
But in Starfield, they did it so fucking poorly. So okay, so you have dialogue options to convince this person of what's what, and you have a bar that you have to fill up, right? And each dialogue option can fill up the bar a certain amount. You would think that you need to like match the dialogue with the person's personality since you've like been talking to them and stuff like that. No, each one of those options has a % chance of succeeding. Not a
honestly,
go ahead.
I love Genshin's persuasion system because they specifically have you pick the options that are actually persuasive. Like, you have to choose which one that character specifically would be more likely to accept.
Now, see, that's fair. I understand that, but like, fucking Starfield did it so poorly because you literally could have a gun-toting psychopath be like, "You need to persuade me not to kill this person," and it's like, okay, here's the persuasion. You're outnumbered. Literally, once you pull that trigger and kill that person, you are going to die. You'll probably escape you'll probably escape sometime between now and when we arrest you. Obviously, that's like a very hyperbolic fucking example, but like, you would think, oh, some of those sound very appealing to the fucking gun. Nope, all of it's bad. Nope, you fail completely.
Jesus.
It's such... that's the one biggest gripe I have with that entire game system.
When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the
Yeah,
box
yeah, I
and got
can see
into an
that.
altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud.
Okay, but when did he get a fucking cloth and some freaking chloroform?
He did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house.
He's drugging
which
them
is why
ladies.
He claimed earlier that he could not
Pulling
hear
a
the
freaking,
sound.
oh no, what's his name? Bill Cosby.
Finally,
I genuinely forgot his name.
I don't know anything about Bill Cosby.
He would drug older women. And have his way with them.
That sounds about right.
But before that, he used to be like a very well-known... He basically was the narrator for Fat Albert, if I remember correctly.
I've only watched one thing of Fat Albert, so I do not know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know.
It used to be a TV series, and I think he was the narrator for some of the episodes. I never really watched
I watched
it,
like
though.
half an episode, and then like only 20 minutes of the movie.
Cowell arrived in the tunnel.
I know the character and the character design. That's about it.
Caught Lenny red-handed.
Ah, okay.
What was... Okay, was the mask... Did the mask actually matter, by the way?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Proceeded to knock him
I did
out
this like a
before
year ago.
Stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Lenny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands. before operating the devices such that Cowl's death would be ruled an accident.
Yeah, it clearly wasn't ruled an accident, dumbass. You'd have to be exceptionally stupid as a criminal to think you could get away with all of this.
Behind what happened.
He was a comedian and often an sitcom and animation actor, is what Bill Cosby was. Thank you, Jade.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linny experienced, and what he saw.
Ooh.
Okay, so that makes sense. Oh, I don't know why I just freaked out there. Okay, so I have to use this one.
According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey. Seems this one.
What are your thoughts?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest. Well, the thought is, like, this is so this technically could be used for either of these two right here. But it makes more sense to be in the first one. However, nothing really seems to be standing out for the second one.
Well, read them out to me, because my thing is delayed.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
So the first one was that Linny entered the tunnel and immediately had an altercation with Halsey. But the thing that I used was that Linny had immediately gone into the vent at that time. And it would have had to be immediately at that time, because if Halsey had seen him do it, that would have been an issue.
True. Then what's the other option you were looking at?
Originally it was the clothing.
I mean, yeah, I guess it would make sense if.
But the game says
she couldn't have had an altercation if, with the time that he had, he would have had to do something else.
I might have to brute force this one, though.
Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual.
Oh, okay. I see what I'm doing now. I misunderstood what I was supposed to do.
What?
So I'm supposed to be telling the story from Linny's side, not disputing what was said. I'm not supposed to be refuting it.
I think there's time later for that, if I remember correctly.
Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say!
I'm sorry, in the middle one, he just looks so, like... I don't know why I find it comical in frame 3, but him just, like, sneaking into a room like that just seems funny to me. It's like, am I being stealthy enough?
Sneaky, sneaky.
But he immediately
You also don't need to go one by one, if I remember correctly.
where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again.
The only question is, how the people get out?
He did not remain there for any
I'm sure we'll find out soon.
time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of
He's innocent by admitting that he was committing a crime of trespassing. Wait.
He's innocent on the basis of I trust him.
He's innocent on the basis of he was busy with another crime.
Innocent on the basis of he's just a goober. Kajiti is innocent of these crimes. That actually works because their whole thing is cats, so...
I can't... What is... Okay, so like they're twins. Literally, where is the cat, like, features on Lenny? I need to know.
He has the cat in the magician stuff.
Is that literally it?
Yeah.
Painful.
Don't ask me how and why. One of them is a cat and the other isn't. I do not know.
Okay, so like genetically speaking, the only way that's a possibility is if
paternal twins.
I was going to say that one parent was a feline person and the other parent was a humanoid.
There's a joke that can be made there, but I'm not going to make it.
You mean furry?
No.
Oh.
Much worse.
No. We haven't seen any felines big enough for that anyways.
My reasoning?
Man. And here I thought I was going to make it worse.
Nope, that's why I exist. I exist to make things worse.
I mean, it's not like that stopped anybody before. But that's where we're gonna leave that conversation because it could go somewhere so much worse.
I mean, Jade just came out and said it.
No, I'm not talking about that. I mean, elsewise.
What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Elsewise, as in Twitch will bonk it.
Oh, never mind then. So, let's avoid that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole.
My biggest argument for this entire court case is who would believe they are who would believe they are untouchable enough to pull something like this off in front of tens of people? How many people are in the Opera House? No more than 100, right? Based on the seating?
That's still about 100 people, 100 faces that know what the fuck just happened.
Well, that's what I mean.
When I say you're gonna be bamboozled, you're gonna be bamboozled, brother. Be bamboozled.
That's why they're partners of mine.
Did Farina make the Imagitorium?
The what?
The Imaginarium, sorry.
I don't know.
It kind of fits her theme.
Like the Imaginarium theater?
Yeah.
Well,
no, that was fucking. Pretty sure it's mentioned, but it was created by one of the witches of the Hexen Circle.
Oh, okay. The only reason I ask is because it kind of fits her theme with like theatrics and stuff like that. And part of entertainment back in ancient times was like gladiatorial stuff.
You'll find that a lot of people in Genshin are just like that.
In the magic box the whole time. How could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask?
Was she not paying attention to what we just said?
No.
If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? He went into a vent and was in a different room.
You're saying that he wasn't?
We just said that.
You're funny to think that she'd actually pay attention to anybody who isn't her, and honestly, I kind of respect that. But that's only because I know what reason that is.
Oh crap, what do I show here?
Oh.
Do I show Linny's statement? Oh, I have to select one of these three. Well, shit. Now I'm the one who wasn't paying attention.
How dare you? I can't believe you. I can't believe you've done this.
Okay, so I can't... Okay, so I have 3 to select from. It is information about the missing lady's identity, strange sound during the magic show, entrances and exits to the opera house. I don't think it's this one. And I doubt it's Halsey's identity. So we're going to go with strange sound during the magic show, because that was the only one that makes sense in the context that I was paying attention for.
That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Paimon is the best counter for Farina just because of the taunting.
Well played.
Honestly,
To
yeah.
think you'd use such logic.
Where was your logic, though?
Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
That's not what we're here to figure out. You're insane. Which is fair. Select the answers and fill all empty gears to verify the correctness of your deduction. If you have made any mistakes, you must make another selection from the remaining option. I literally can't fail this then, can I? The guard's investigation report indicates that the fireworks released near the end of the show ignited and burned through the rope suspending the water tank above the stage. This is caused by the water tank to fall and kill Cowell in the box below. If Lenny was no longer under suspicion, only other members of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the props. Lenny gave detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work by the box. See, the biggest mistake was fucking suspending that thing up in the air still and not putting it away.
Yeah.
The idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported via the tunnel underneath and Lenny himself to the side. Having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of on-stage interactions. The clothes belonged to Halsey. The women who went missing were found in the tunnel. The reasons for this remains unknown. What is this one? Select any clue to view detailed information.
Could there have been a third person involved? Is that really a possibility? Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along?
I'm sorry, but I feel like that's probably the smartest thing to go with.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Okay, let's go with this one. Okay, it was Cowell. What the fuck?
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
Look, if you didn't have a lady who was trained to be a fucking lightning sniper, I would kick you off your balcony.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a headache.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well.
Fuck. Wait a minute. Talk about burying the lead.
Hmm.
Well, okay. Look at the bottom right corner of the screen, where it says "View key information." Select clue. It's the only one that says "Select clue."
I don't see it yet. Oh yeah. Or is it because you're on it?
No. Oh wait.
No one entered or
like you're
left the
currently
opera
looking at it,
house.
because I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
I think
You're
that
right.
is
You're
what
right. You're right.
annoyed
You're
me.
right. You're right. You're right.
You had to, keep reading through it all before you could put select
It
it.
would have been tough for both people to.
I'm stuck. Oh no!
When you're no. Don't
Okay.
get stuck. Get good.
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have.
So I can select that one.
The sound we heard may have come from.
I can select that one.
No one entered or left the opera house.
I don't think that's the right
The
one.
deceased's name is Cow.
I don't think that's the right one.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment.
This one might be the right one. Oh, it removes one. It removed the first one I placed.
Yeah, because you're answering different questions. You have to find the clue.
What I mean is, like, when it said I was wrong, it immediately took out one of the things that wasn't the correct answer. And the one that it took out was the mistake one that I put in there by accident.
Yeah.
I find that funny.
Linny was not in the tunnel.
Okay.
It would have been tough for both. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. No one entered or left the.
Okay, how can we envisage Linny as having been unable to interfere with the crime because he wasn't in there?
Yeah, I already have him in. I already have it in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
deceased's
I'm
name is
reading it a
Linny's
different way.
assistant.
This one doesn't make sense for being in here, but that's
It would have
fine.
been tough for both
Well-
people to fit into that.
Jester, I just now understood what you were saying. I apologize.
What? What was I saying?
You were saying how they were different questions.
Yes.
I just now, like, saw up top.
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent.
Who is the prime suspect
The
currently?
deceased's name is.
This one.
Wrong.
How can I prove the altercation in the tunnel?
The sound we heard may have come from.
Where did Halsey go?
The sound we heard may have come from a clash. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Oh, fuck you, game.
It would have been tough for both people to fit into.
Don't you love being spoon-fed the answer when you get it wrong over and over?
Here's the issue, though. Even though it spoon-fed everything to me, I still got it wrong.
Yeah, because you keep selecting the wrong one. It asked you who the prime suspect was, and you were like, this folder of information that...
No, I
depicted
switched that
them
one to
as-
be... I switched that one to be, Cowl.
Oh, it didn't show it.
And then I switched, the proof of the altercation to be, the sound in the tunnel. So it didn't give me many other options.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Oh, wait, I think I was supposed to fail this one. 'Cause
Probably.
we don't know where Halsey went.
Halsey just gone. She said
This
bye.
is all just a bluff. And he Here I thought you had something to show for it, but it seems you're still far from the truth.
Okay. Okay. I am 100% convinced that Farina, at one point in her life, read a fucking book that was a dramatization of a fucking trial. Like, basically, it's just like the fucking modern-day reality TV, in quotation mark, bullshit. And and thinks that's how it all is supposed to go, because, like, we're missing evidence here!
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not
I
consider a
wouldn't be
different
surprised,
track?
honestly.
Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely.
Can you fit a person in a magic pocket?
And it's not like this is a magic
What now?
trick where you can just make a real live person disappear.
Good question.
Like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
Okay, you're now on the list of characters I will throw off a cliff 5 times when I pull you. The only other person on that list is Child.
Don't. I like Farina.
If
There's
the defense
reasons
is
down the
unable to
line
further
why
effective
she's a
arguments,
little too
we will move
similar
on
to
the
me.
next stage of the trial.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that
But that's for the
which gave our
end
criminal
of this
ample
entire quest.
Well,
line.
I think that she's putting on too much of her persona and she doesn't even realize it. And it's kind of wearing her down.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash
could be a
between the
theory.
missing Halsey and the deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been. The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
I don't understand everything right now.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
This is all pointing to Farina. Which also, she has that ability that is terrifying.
How's it pointing to Farina?
Just a moment, please.
Hydro Archon?
I do hope you know how preposterous
I don't
this
get
sounds.
how, though.
They're saying that the lady got turned into water. And Farina is the Hydro Archon.
I guess you can make that connection.
How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick.
This is reality. You know what else is reality? Me being able to walk on water and nobody else being able to.
Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well.
So, obstruction of court, held in contempt of court at least 5 times.
Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about 2 completely different things.
Do me a favor, rip this entire opera house down, find Halsey, then rebuild the opera house. Then tell me that statement.
Even so, I trust the traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him.
Oh, did Cal fake his death? Oh my goodness.
But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope.
Projecting much?
The way I see it, Your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Yes, because finding more evidence on whether somebody is innocent or guilty has never really worked out in the past.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a
What am I saying?
reasonable request
That's
on
what
the
I'm
part
saying.
of an attorney. Since
You
the
can't
trial does
prove
indeed
you're
appear to be
innocent.
at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make
You're
more
just
progress.
chilling.
Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice.
What?
The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject.
What in a Fontanian's DNA separates them from a Leowins or a Natlanders?
As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, fact,
What says there is?
supported by sufficient evidence.
The guy literally just said it only works on people from Fontaine.
Oh, that's true.
You
I
would
haven't gotten to that part yet. I got to
You gotta be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Oh. Wasn't that Lynette's story?
What?
People getting dissolved into water? Wasn't that part of Lynette's story when we first met her?
No,
Could something so ridiculous actually be
I
true?
don't think so.
Lady, you know what's ridiculous? That fucking hairstyle. You're like an anime mom. You aren't going to live much longer.
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy.
There we go.
It's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
I like the NPC designs for Fontaine.
Order!
They're a lot fancier.
Nouvelette scared me.
Nouvelette always scares
It
me.
is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
I like his little hair dealy.
Yeah.
Of course.
He looks like the otters.
Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all.
I still don't know how that one would make sense.
Let's think about this.
Oh, wait.
Methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Who is the prime suspect currently? Okay, that is him.
The deceased's name is Cowell.
What item did the culprit use to control the timing of the dissolution? That wouldn't be the metal hook, would it?
What?
Well, I'm reading the question now. What item did the culprit use to control the timing of the dissolution?
The water from the primordial sea.
I mean, it was on a hook.
He entered the magic box.
And then the thing fell.
Now it seems like the hook rope was
Or
not
the
meant
rope.
for
The
another
rope was
magic
burned.
trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism.
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic group, but instead some sort of triggering mechanism. Maybe that was it.
The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank. I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this?
What would it be? I'm gonna go with the hook for the first
Now
one.
It seems like the hook rope was
First attempt.
Yeah.
What the item did the culprit use to dissolve Halsey? That would be this.
water from the primordial.
What item did the culprit use to hide the mechanism behind the crime? Would that be the rope?
The rope that held the water tank up
I
was
think
lit
so.
by-
Would make sense.
No, it's not the rope.
Oh.
Oh, wait, it might be the other part of the magic
Remember,
box.
There was something else within the inner layer.
There it is. Three out of 4 ain't bad.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again!
You're just the speaker. I'm the one figuring all this out.
In the original plan, Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope, and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box.
Okay, that's fair. That actually makes sense.
When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Yeah, how did he end up in the box is the question.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Then maybe you should learn from this mistake and think before you speak.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence.
I hope it's not Lynette.
I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be. Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you.
Wait. Were people using the vent to get into the tunnel? At base? Because there were only three. There were only three entrances into the tunnel. There was the 2 magic box entrances and the vent. So how did people get into the vent or into the tunnel? I'm
Does
lost.
this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close.
What reasoning? You've been standing here doing nothing.
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, His accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea.
Okay, but why do people have access to this thing if it's so dangerous?
But upon his return, in cruel avarice,
I have access to what?
Water from the primordial sea. You know, the thing that can dissolve people.
I don't know.
in crime. Ultimately,
It's a
he
great
knocked Cowl
question.
out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization.
Hey, you leave the freaking unjustified hatred to the Fatui to me, lady.
Am I right, Mr. Linney?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Oh no. Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now, and we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning.
Oh yes, the flawless reasoning that was wrong the first time.
I believe this is indeed
Absolutely.
the finale.
So this, okay, so like what's happening is full on reinforcing my belief that the fucking Oratrice isn't doing shit. It isn't even real. Is because every time she says something that kind of like quote unquote moves it forward to the next stage, it's always her saying it. It's never my side saying it, and then it all of a sudden gets a little like drop in its thing for the progress bar.
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout, and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic?
Navia, I love you. Get to the point fast. I'm pretty sure Nuve will literally nuke you.
I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linney, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Linny and Lynette, give it another go. Don't worry, Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf.
What? How did nobody stop them from setting up? Never mind, Silver's there. He probably beat the shit out of him.
But as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
And voila.
Did it just seamlessly? Nope.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
She's the accomplice, isn't she?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Yeah, get busted, bitch.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
Okay.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt.
Oh, that makes sense. Why? Oh, hang on one moment. Why the fuck are you from... Why are you in Fontaine?
Why wouldn't she be?
Well, okay, let me rephrase that statement. Why are you having a false identity in Fontaine? Who are you running from in Mondstadt? I mean, if it's Diluc, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the dissolving water only works on people from Fontaine, and she's not from Fontaine, so the water wouldn't have worked on her. And that's why there was an altercation in the tunnel. And somehow she got lucky.
I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one.
She doesn't have a false identity, she just sold somebody's ticket. Got it. What?
That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before.
Isn't this the chick that stole earlier in the day?
I don't know.
But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I
Yep.
barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief.
I was right! Yay me!
You even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Give me a second, I gotta check YouTube. Okay, we're good.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes.
How did nobody discover you?
I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it.
So who tampered with it? That couldn't have... The only thing I can think of is that Cowl did it to kind of like... But no, there wouldn't have been a body.
Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lily-Ann's perspective.
Interesting. Also irritating. Oh my goodness, stop it.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lily-Ann's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
Then... broken vase?
The
Yes.
flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lily-Ann and Cowl.
So does that mean Cowl's the one that was doing the serial kidnappings? No, because serial kidnappings have been happening for years. Decades, even.
Lily-Ann was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time!
Wow, she has a dangerous left swing. Holy crap.
Having been selected out of the blue, Lily-Ann panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowl leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lily-Ann had not dissolved.
Well, the question is, like, where did Cowl come from?
He did not know that Lily-Ann was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended.
Well, that would make sense why you went quiet.
What?
Or shit the bed.
What?
My Discord shit the bed.
Oh, okay. I'm still trying to figure out where Cal came from.
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
Hasn't it only been 1 day? Like, they said the trial would literally be tomorrow. And I'm assuming it wasn't even like a full 24 hours before that happened. I'd assumed we only had at most 8.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses.
Oh, she was the one that made the things disappear. How did nobody notice?
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Except, how did Cal get into the tunnel? There was only 3 entrances!
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Unless the vent doesn't count as an entrance and I'm just being dumb.
Are you not considering the fact that maybe he was the worker under the stage making the things happen?
No, because Paimon had said that he dived into the tunnel. Which, that could just be Paimon being stupid, which is fair.
I always figured he was just the one working in the tunnel.
Like, I would assume that too, because that would make sense. But Paimon saying shit like, oh, he dived into the tunnel, doesn't make sense and throws everything out the window for me. Because I have to take everything at face value, because I can't not take everything at face value in this game. Also, this bitch needs to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up.
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
He just sounds so fed up with her bullshit.
Absolutely.
What? Are you reading my mind now?
Farina, you would save more face if you just bow out with grace.
No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
You're the one that tried to walk out.
Wow. Look at that. She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list.
Okay, my biggest gripe is that we were told that these serial disappearances have been happening for almost decades now.
While committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved.
Oh, right, that's why the water tank dropped. Okay, so now I'm back on that. I'm back on that front.
Using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally,
are we to assume that Cowell is like in his 50s and doing this shit?
When bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan,
okay, that one right there kind of had Psycho vibes, where it looked like she was being murdered.
And thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian.
Yeah, right there, they said he entered the tunnel.
Not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box.
So when also the mask
became
wasn't
his
important.
own
That
final
upsets me.
Lillian, according to her own statements,
I was so
then
obsessed with it
changed
last stream. I was like,
clothes
where is it?
until the
Where's the
performance
mask?
ended
That's a
before
clue!
hiding in other parts of the opera house.
You really were obsessed with
As for
it.
Linny,
I'm sorry, it's just that they put the camera put so much focus on it. It didn't click to me that it was just like, oh, this was a troop
we can
member.
conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent. While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
This is a lot of pomp and circumstance for a fucking verdict.
As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Imagine if every court case was like this, where all you have to do is sit for like 5 seconds and wait for some machine to flash a bunch of lights and be like, here's a piece of paper that says if you're guilty or not.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes?
I'm gonna be nice.
I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
That feels like less of a threat than you think it is to me. As the viewer, I need details on what Coupon Town is.
I was just following orders.
Town.
We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
Fantastic, there's another devious organization doing some sus shit.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Okay, but what if you're the one in charge of the secret society?
You'll never know.
I'll tell you everything I know.
Don't say that.
Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration.
So drugs.
We've been in this business
Thanks.
for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
Who the fuck is Vlad?
Vlad the Impaler.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
How do you know who them is?
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Them's the breaks.
Oh, there's the robots.
That do.
So, we're just going back now? That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
So would the water work on Linny and Lynette? Because they're Sneznayan, aren't they?
I actually don't know what they are.
I know you may not want to speak to me right now.
They could be
Maybe you
Fontanian,
don't
they're
even
just
wanna
in the
look at me.
Fatui. Because not all Fatui members are
Again for
Sneznayan.
defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all.
That's the singular for Fatui?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was fun to find out.
Why not just say you're a Fatui?
That was how Father,
Fatouche.
who you might know as the Knave,
Fatouche.
approached recruiting us back then too.
Okay, what is that one singular word right above father? And why does it do that? Do you see what I'm talking about?
Huh?
Look at the word father and look at the word above it. Why does it do that?
Oh, give me a second. There's a delay.
That's why I've been paused on the screen.
Oh, what does it say? I can't see.
I think it says Otets.
O-T-E-T-S. It could be, like the Fontanian word for it.
A knave?
Because it was doing that in Inazuma a couple of times.
Yeah, because I think they put the immersive language version of that word, because you can read it elsewhere in written accounts
I
too.
was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my
Also, I kind of figured that Arle was the father of the orphans because of the simple fact that, like, they put father in quotation marks and they didn't put it in, like, regular wording.
They call her daddy.
died. Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive,
Plus, we
I took
already
to
told you her
surreptitiously
story.
observing an older
Huh?
street performer
You
who
should
did
already
magic.
know who she is.
It took me
Who,
several
Arlie?
days to figure out how he
Yes!
pulled off his amazing
We've told you her
feats.
story.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so you shouldn't be surprised.
I'm not surprised. I'm just surprised how many fucking children she has over here in Fontaine.
Yeah, she's been busy.
I would have thought they would all be in Shneznaya because isn't that where she was? Or was she also in Fontaine when she became father?
I took my
This
sister
is where the
for
House of the
several
Hearth has
streets
always
until we
been.
found a crowded corner, and we began to
Oh.
perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before
There's a
long,
very
an
common theme
aristocrat came
going
to me
that the
and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my
fucking
performances.
people who take in orphans like to beat them and torture them in Fontaine.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too.
I feel like
As if fate
Fontaine,
was on
that's the
our
reason
side
I've been
and we
getting
could
this
say
weird
goodbye to
vibe
those
from
painful
Fontaine that I
days.
just don't like.
But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for
Because they
magic
beat
tricks.
children? I mean, yeah.
Well, no, it's more along the lines of just like the air of nobility, like where are the slums in this regard? Like I've
True.
seen nothing but like opulent streets the entire time I've been in this town, and that just skeeves me out a little bit.
He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention,
True.
which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
Okay, but Paimon, think about what happens when Linny failed to do that.
It took a while for me to realize
He
just
did.
how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
And I hope he died.
Oh no. So he was gonna...
Feel that.
Wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
That was not what I was expecting to happen.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans.
I hate to ask this, but I have to because unfortunately when I was looking at Lynette's wiki page to like figure something out,
the knave,
in terms of like how to build her.
And so
Father's not abusive, is she?
No.
Okay.
The House of the Hearth.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if she was, but at the same time,
here, none will
I was kind of
betray
secretly hoping like,
Indeed,
no, please.
Betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to
She is
trust
good,
her.
Daddy.
I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
I don't know how much I believe that.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the knave, has their roots in Fontaine, and we will always defend our homeland.
Okay, so they are all from Fontaine. Including Arle.
To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
Of the two's outfits, I definitely like Lynette's better. I think it's just kind of... I think it's more along the lines of it feels more symmetrical than Linny's.
Oh, it's less symmetrical, really, but, I don't know, there's something about it that I fucking love. I love the bodysuit with, like, the tights and the shoes. I love her entire design. The only thing that I do not like that annoys the hell out of me are how small her ears are compared to her head.
Yeah, that's fair. But she could be one of those cats that have the folded over ears.
Hey there.
No.
What was with the disappearing?
No, like,
pulled right as the
width-wise.
trial ended?
Like, they just feel so out of place.
Ah, yeah.
Were you looking for
Like those low-quality 3D avatars that you can find.
Well,
That are just like, yes, human but slapped on 3D ears, because why not? Rather than being an integral part of her actual design.
Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now?
Haven't we already cracked most of it? We figured out who's doing what. We just need to figure out who they are.
And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now.
Part of me still feels like it might be new just because of the frickin' Hydro Archon's intro trailer.
Ah. I see. Well,
I won't.
What? What were we talking about?
Who's behind the serial disappearances? Part of me feels like it might be Nuve because that would be kind of like plot twisty from a storytelling standpoint. I mean, nobody would expect the judge to do it.
True.
And a part of the evidence that I have for that is just the fucking Farina intro trailer where he's getting arrested. So that might not. Literally, that might be a spoiler, or it just might be something fun that she was imagining.
Don't say that, Navia.
That would be fucking funny.
Aw, and we were having so much fun.
Like the whole story of Fontaine was spoiled to me because of one intro trailer, and not even like the full intro trailer. One tiny scene in the intro trailer wasn't even a second long.
It was like having new
Real as
waters
fuck.
flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Well, sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal?
Although I will say, this is a pleasant surprise to what I was thinking was going to happen to us whenever somebody told me that Fontaine was the city of justice.
Well,
I thought we were going to be the ones that actually full-on got arrested and put on trial.
that way there are no
I was not expecting us being attorneys.
Anyway, it'll just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
You're still in the court, you're just not the one on trial.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navi is treating, can't Paimon in?
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
Well, let's hope it's not boring.
All right then, let's have our farewell meal.
That's a bad pun, I know. I'm very sorry for my bad puns. Chapter 4, Act 2. As light rain falls without reason. Is this where people start dying? I've got an intertwined wish. Yay, I won't use it. I mean, I could build more pity for the next thing, but I think the next thing is Gillot and Venti, and while Gillot does kind of appeal to me because having her C1 might be fun, I also kind of want to go for her weapon. But also at the same time...
All the Natlan characters boost with their C1.
Huh?
All the Natlan characters boost with their C1.
Like,
I mean...
Go ahead.
If you want her skill to last longer, C1 is definitely good for it. But if you don't need her skill to last longer, then there's no point in it.
Well, I mean, like, for the most part, the movement isn't too... Like, having it last longer in general would be nice in terms of movement. In terms of combat, it kind of gets blasted away immediately.
Yeah.
Because I immediately just start attacking the enemy once I activate it.
Yeah.
But doesn't it also get a boost beyond duration?
I think so, but it's like minimal at best. I think. I don't know. Whatever. I can't see. But
consumption is decreased. Her Night Soul Blessing state. The Phlogiston consumption by Night Soul Blessing is decreased by 30. Her Night Soul point time limit is extended by 45%. Also, when she has source samples active, she can also increase nearby active characters' interruption resistances.
Nice.
Good for co-op, but I think solo not so much.
Probably not.
I would have to see how her weapon plays. Imagine having a C1 for a Natling character. Jade, didn't you get fucking Malv twice?
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while.
Have we ever eaten at a hotel?
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
It was destined. I always pull 2 motorcycle mommies.
2 motorcycle mommies.
Everything looks so good.
Motorcycles are cool.
Fontaines sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead.
I once wanted to drive a motorcycle, then I got hit with the absolute fear of vehicles in general, so that one died in the water.
Motorcycles don't really appeal to me in terms of driving.
Only 1 dish per table.
I just think they'd be fun.
Maybe a couple of times. Maybe like once every 2 or 3 months, maybe. But that's not enough to justify having a motorcycle.
I mean, to be fair, I did kind of grow up bombing around on ATVs and pocket bikes.
So that shit's ingrained. That shit's kind of ingrained for you.
Yeah, it's just a bigger version of what I've already been playing with, so... But I fear other people, so that's not happening.
One thing I would want to drive is probably a race car.
That would scare the shit out of me. Even more so.
I would want it to be on an empty track. I would want it to be on an empty track. Let's put it that way. I wouldn't want to be in a NASCAR race.
At those high speeds, you can still die.
Dissolve these young women, but we still don't know.
Oh, I'm very well aware.
I was just saying.
I'm very well aware. It's just that
no.
Jade drives a race car every day.
Right?
No.
Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation
No, she drives safely on the road every day.
I don't know. I've heard stories from Vanny.
She drives safely on the road every day.
I don't know. The one time she went to visit Vanny and Navi, she took them
safely on the road every day.
She took them mudding, and I'm pretty sure she traumatized both of them.
Authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's just that a different perspective. It's easy to guard against and
Honestly,
deceive
I
a
never
simple,
understood the
narrow
appeal
perspective.
behind mudding.
A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough, which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exists.
Jade is right. Technically speaking, that wasn't on the road.
That's why we exist.
So she doesn't have to drive safely if she's not on the road.
Filth falls through, where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
I feel like you're scolding her right now.
Than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal.
I
I doubt you have further interest in
saying it even louder fucking
broke the mic.
No, I don't know, it fucked up my throat. And so I started coughing, but then I kept coughing, and then I coughed so hard that I threw up.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
That's true.
I love it.
Jade, you can't say that because the area that I live in has people mudding. Like, I may be from Penn, but I live in the fucking country. We still have people doing that shit. I just don't understand the appeal.
There's mudding here too. I don't understand the appeal either, because then it's like, everything's dirty.
You'll be waiting for quite a while.
But I also can't blame her, because, like, so long as she wasn't doing it on the road, because, I mean, riding an ATV once, I went fucking bombing down a washed out hill, got the tire stuck, and flipped myself over into a bush on the side of a hill. Side of a ravine, really. It was so fun. I scared the shit out of my dad. The ATV would have gone driving down into the ravine if it weren't for the fact that it hit the tree right next to me.
I think part of the reason I don't like the appeal is because I like driving in cars. I don't like driving in trucks.
Could you suggest something a little more?
I don't like driving at all.
This plan seems pretty hard to pull off.
I prefer being lower to the ground in a vehicle than up in the air in a truck.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourself.
I have been in too many car accidents to like cars whatsoever.
Answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
Do the Archons sleep?
That might work, but that's not really the problem.
Totally.
The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
So I haven't been paying attention. I'm pretty sure we're literally just workshopping plans to talk to the Hydro Archon.
For sleep.
Hmm.
All right, no more joking.
Word of forewarning, word of warning, I may die.
Oh, I don't know.
Like pass out.
No, I'm opening up a program that in the past has
Killed
completely
Discord.
destroyed my computer.
Oh.
So I mean,
why are you opening a program that has completely destroyed your computer in the past? I'm curious about that.
Because I'm opening up VR chat, and VR chat, the fucking easy anti-cheat loves to fuck up my computer. And it's like every single time I open it, it kills it. But I'm pretty sure I figured out a way that I can open it without it doing that, and so I'm just saying, oh, I'm gonna die.
Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
You're dying.
It's gonna happen.
You're dying.
Yeah, it failed to open. It's gonna happen.
Sorry about that.
Close the game. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't do it. Please. I also figured out a way to keep it from happening, and that is immediately go to Task Manager when it's just like, hey, this isn't opening, and just immediately kill the program.
Are you alive? Have you survived? Is this like a game of Repo where you have to act in a certain way when an enemy pops up?
Yes.
Did you react in time, or did you get eaten by Mr. Face?
There are 3 different applications for VR chat in these files, and I don't know which fucking one works.
Close them all!
I haven't died yet.
Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
Have you died yet? Chad, I think she died. I'm 100% certain she died.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
Hey, Navia! What are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
I've got this. I won't
This
dang.
is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your request the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner. See ya!
See, the thing is, she's in... There she is.
Yes, hello, I'm here.
I loved that interaction because you basically were saying, there's no way I'll die. As soon as you end the word die, the last syllable is expanded, and you go silent. That is what I heard.
Don't kill me! 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 Don't kill me!
Stop activating!
Fuck off! Fuck off!
Stop activating VR chat!
Oh, fuck, I don't want...
Go on Second Life!
No! I have a thing tomorrow, and I want to have pretty avatars for free, and I'm all out of fucking legends, so there's nothing I can do!
People around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices?
I haven't died yet, so there's that.
Kinda spooky. Are you
Can I please start the protected game? And don't kill me this time. Fuck's sake.
Vache.
What is a vache?
Hey, why are you walking towards it? There might... Huh? Hang on.
I feel like Jade would know.
Paimon can kinda
She
hear a
always
voice.
knows.
It's calling
She's kind of scary with it, I'm not gonna lie. Let me in. 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 I'll die.
Are you trying to pull an Eric Andre right now? Let me in. Let me in! That's Oceanic.
What?
That's Oceanic.
Oh.
Vache, are you...
Hey, Oceanid.
No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
It opened.
I thought you died again.
I specifically need to play the protected.
Feel like they have been washed away like a flood.
It breaks when I try and do any of the others.
Tide never
Now,
recovered.
could still completely
How
die.
much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while
Just
on
because
land
my computer shit.
have I since forgotten? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who is lost, therefore. I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
Oh my god, it opened too.
Going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril.
This one also has the same voice actress as the Oceanid in Leeway.
I knew
Oh, that's cool.
how dearly he loved
It would make sense, to be honest.
And I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be.
Now I get to go test these abbeys. Let's go. Because I have one that's really pretty, and I think it's like a ram lady. It's just really pretty. And then I have one that's Espeon.
So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters.
I have a bunch of others, but I wanted to
You meet Vache.
test these two, make sure I actually knew what the fuck I was doing.
I need to get a custom one for VR chat, to be honest. I don't like the ones that they have all in there. It feels too much like I'm copying other people's.
I mean, you are, but, so the thing with VR chat that I'm not gonna lie, I only kind of just figured out now, is, there's a bunch of sites that have, paid, abbeys. So the ones that you can find in VR chat as is are the free ones. And you're only gonna have so many of those, like the free and public. You can go to private worlds to find more free abbeys and stuff like that, or showcases for paid ones.
So it's kind of like a lesser version of Second Life in that regard?
And it's a VR version of Second Life. It's exactly that, really.
Is that what you call it? Dissolving. If anything, I consider it a form of release.
The optical illusion that her head underneath those freaking bangs and stuff like that are round is really throwing me off.
Peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of
but there are sites that have like paid abbeys, and then you can buy those. They'll give you the source files for it, and then you have to bring them into Unity, and then upload them to your VR chat account. So it's a private published avatar for you only. And then you can buy assets and stuff and like customize your abbeys, change the texture, stuff like that.
That's gonna cost
I
a
would
lot
say
of money, I bet.
Not really. I mean the abbeys that were there
Farewell then.
I range from like $10 to $40. And a lot of them have like toggles on toggles on toggles on toggles.
Double toggles. Sorry, I was trying to make a joke about double entendres, but it wasn't working.
Point is,
what is happening? Why is there fighting? These are the cops, aren't they?
Maybe. I mean, there's something that can be said there.
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex.
And there's Chlorine.
Chlorand?
Chlorine.
Oh, nope, she's on our side. Jeez, way to flex. Music's nice. Oh, and they're fading. Why do the Gardamex fade like that?
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Clorand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely.
You have all these stories with like dead people, and then it's just like, but the bodies don't even exist.
Called stalking.
They disappear.
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father.
Sorry.
Touchy subject.
I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Clorand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Yeah, you listen to Malus. He's the smartest one here.
What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
Huh. I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with a Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago.
What, when you were zipping past them like a fucking nutjob?
The law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue.
That would explain the mechs that are walking around out in the wild.
We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clorand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
How do you keep your hat on one side of your head?
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle,
Has VR chat killed you yet?
That Miss Clorand was being sincere with you.
And they worked too.
If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
That was a hell of a thing to wake up to, by the way.
Oh, thank goodness!
Well, we were passed out talking to an Ocean, and then we woke up and all of a sudden we're in the middle of a war zone.
Yeah.
Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too. We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to
I like
thank me.
Navia's clothing and how all the colors and stuff work together.
To match Demoiselle's
Right?
magnanimity.
She's a great design. I love that.
I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more
I love how this hints at Paimon realizes she's somewhat kind of useless.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off. So
Did somebody try to fucking use water of the Primordial Sea on a very obvious pair of outsiders?
So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Okay, no, she was the target.
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Okay, so literally she was the target. Okay.
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
What? Why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Lenny in court and help clear his name. Ugh, now we're caught up in this mess too, aren't we?
And for once, it's not Paimon's fault. Holy shit.
A plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. He said that he heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too, but it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then? Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
Wait, are we swimming in the primordial seawater when we're in the water in Fontaine?
I don't think so.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh, that is important.
I like the Espeon one most. It's so
Vache.
cute.
That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened? Yes, thank you. This is very
You know what this all
important
reminds me of?
information
Like this whole plot of
We will
people turning into
continue to
water and
investigate.
shit like that. You know what this reminds
What?
me of? Fucking Ghost Shark.
I don't know what that is.
Horror movie, shark gets tortured by a bunch of, like... There's no word I can say that wouldn't offend somebody. Genuinely speaking.
Well, message with them.
Okay, let's just put it this way. They really, really, really like killing animals. And they were tormenting a shark, and the shark got pissed and went to a voodoo cave and was resurrected and turned into a ghost shark. And then when anybody touched water in any capacity, it could appear and eat them.
Voodoo King.
And when I say water in any capacity, I mean a guy drank some water out of a fucking water cooler, and the shark split his body open to kill him.
I respect that.
Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right?
So yeah, it's
Whether we like it or not.
it's an interesting movie.
Targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
But it's like one of those B-grade shark movies that was really popular in the late 20-aughts, early 2010s.
Gotcha.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one
But,
of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you.
There actually was another movie that I remember being a horror movie where people would turn into these shadows when they were exposed to shadows. And it was meant to, it's like a kind of psychological horror with it being a monster at the same time, I guess. Where, like, you have something that's very obviously, like, constant in your life. Like, shadows, water, sand, I guess, would be a good qualifier as well. Like, you have this shit that's a constant in your life, and then suddenly it's a danger, so how do you survive in that?